So I'm going to count down from... Oh, never mind. It's already there. All right. We are connected. We are live. We are broadcasting on Twitch TV/Myth Brigade. Byron, this is your show, man. So I'm going to turn the controls over to you.
Woo! All right. Welcome. It's been a moment already because the curse of Tim. We shall call it the curse of Tim. Whenever Tim is in any game, it crashes and burns. I just
That's not fair.
Only when I buy the book.
Mostly.
Oops, I bought the book.
Only when we bought the book. Did you buy the book? That's right. I keep telling you to stop doing that. But anyhow, so we're live here on Myth Brigade with another episode of Pendragon, the Age of the Sword, the Circle, and the Serpent. And we are going to be, hopefully, finishing up this first little soiree into the woods in the first little scenario part of this campaign. And if not, then we'll play a fourth episode and we'll eventually get to the end of this little thing. So hard to judge the timing on some of these, but we're gonna get right to it because we didn't get much playtime last episode. So real quick, Tim, how's it going?
Life is good.
That's good. Awesome. I heard you fought some really big dragon or something yesterday.
We saw a really big dragon, but
we were really close to fighting.
Yeah, it was quite an epic night last night at the Battlegrounds, the board game shop, playing a little D&D, and
I'm excited to get to see. Ed said he had to finish doing some painting and stuff, so I'm excited to see the other side. Our for those who don't know, Tim plays at our local game store here in Canton. And
what's it called? So I can put it up on the screen.
Battlegrounds to board games.
Right on.
Yeah, owned by some good friends of ours, and they are expanding and almost doubling their square footage. They bought the place next door and cut a hole in the concrete wall with a saw and added it together. So they're gonna have a special board game room and all kinds of stuff over there.
Yeah, we played in Spirit of You, Byron, in that we went the wrong way we just went through multiple doors and just triggered traps and creatures, and we were surrounded.
Don't even need me.
Tim took inspiration from you and just activated the whole dungeon.
We just blitzed it.
It's fun, ain't it?
That's
and now we're in the middle of a hallway and everything's coming towards us.
Is that the Leroy Jenkins
thing?
Be great. Right? You did the Leroy Jenkins move. Is that what that was?
Pretty much.
Nice.
The audio is fine.
Jenkins.
All right, Mr. Nedley, how you doing?
I'm doing pretty great.
I heard. I think you said something about releasing a sketchbook soon.
Yeah. That's. You are up on things. I just told you that.
All right.
I have it's coming up on pop-up art market season. So instead of just selling the originals and the prints, I'm actually taking a lot of my more popular pen work and putting it into a little sketchbook. So it should be pretty great. Since it's all pen work, it's called Big Bic Energy. You're welcome.
Are you sponsored by Bic? Can we get you a sponsorship through the channel with Bic?
God, I hope so. Give me some of that 15-cent pen money.
Otherwise, you might have to change it because if I can get you the right deal, would you change the title to Big Faber-Castell Energy?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I will.
I will commit 100%. Jason likes to hand out packs and stuff like that. So anybody who sends us an email at gm@mythbrigade.com, we will send you a 15-cent Big Pen.
Dude, no. You know what I'm going to do? Actually, I'm going to one-up. Ready? So the first 10 people to see this video, right? Oh, you have to see this video. And
I'm watching it.
To email gm@mythbrigade.com and send along Big Bic Energy as the subject. The first 10 emails that I get from non-cast members, I'm going to buy one of Natalie's books, and I'm going to send it to those people along with that 15-cent Big Pen. How about that? Fair enough. First 10.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
All right.
Wait. How much does this book cost?
Let me log into
Like I can get the pens.
10 of these books?
I'm just getting the pens.
The first 10 are like hundreds of dollars.
Oh, shit. Somebody just made their Kickstarter goal like in the first hour.
Well, what it is that Myth Brigade will buy one.
Nailed it.
Yeah, Myth Brigade will buy one copy, and then the other 9 of you will get photocopies of the Myth
Kind of like how we did the manual. It's good.
And you will get one piece of the big pen. You'll get one piece of the big pen. We're gonna
break
split
it
them
into
up.
10 pieces.
Yeah.
We're gonna split it up like the rings in Lord of the Rings, and like.
And if you all come together, you can make one pen.
You two can write a letter.
When's that coming out, Steve? So I know when to start bugging you for physical copies. When are you gonna have it printed?
Oh, that'll be. I should have it ready for the 29th. That's the first session that I got.
First 10.
They should be going to the printers next week,
Awesome.
So I should be getting about 100 of them.
Right. On.
Yeah, so you only need 90 now.
I was gonna say you have 90 of them.
Sold.
True.
All right.
Rock on.
Awesome. Tyler, what's going on? You got like gaming coming out of your ears, man.
Oh yeah, doing great. We just had another great filed on session on Sunday.
That was fucked
Check
up.
it out. It was incredible. Lots of problems in the bank.
Yeah.
Hamburger and Legos.
Yes.
And a quick explanation.
Pretty good.
Yesterday had our Monday D&D game with Tim, and today more Pendragon.
And Saturday we played Eisenwald with Shauna on her first live stream on Myth Brigade.
And Friday we're supposed to play War for the Crown, I think.
Heck yeah. Rock on.
Lots of games.
And last but not least, Jason.
Oh man. Yeah, same gaming stuff because I've been gaming with you guys. It's really good stuff. So I will say I polished off the intro encounter for our one shot that we're writing for the Miskatonic repository. So I'm pretty excited about that. We have an office hours episode coming up next Wednesday, Byron, at 9. I confirmed that with Bridget Jeffries. She's going to come and talk to us about sort of authoring scenarios for Call of Cthulhu, writing horror games in general, her approach to running games and all that. So that'll be pretty awesome live on the stream. I think we're going to get into some Deadlands. What is it, next week or is it the following week? When's Memorial Day?
Next week on Monday, I think.
Yeah, next Monday. I'm trying for that. And loving life otherwise, man. Things are all good. I'm happy to be here. And I'm so glad I'm not the one who's stacking the rocks in the giant footprint.
Wait a second, that's me.
All right. So, Sir Garen, when we last left off, you guys had found the black kind of standing stone. You were gathering some rocks in to stack at the base of it, kind of in honor, I think, or in to pay your respects to the darker gods, or the older gods, I should say. And you had discovered, as you were looking around collecting the rocks, at first you were like kind of in a small depression of sorts, probably maybe 6 to 8 inches deep, as you begin clearing away some of the foliage and clover and grass and stuff that had grown around the edge. You realized that you were standing in a footprint, and not a small footprint, a very, very large footprint, probably almost 12 foot from heel to toe, and about a good 6 to 7 foot wide. You can even see the individual toe prints somewhat at the like lead part of the footprint. You do not find any other footprint. Like, you just see the one. That's it. Just one singular footprint.
Is it one-legged thing just hopping around?
Yeah, is it because they're that far apart? Or
Weird
seriously?
enough.
Yeah. Is it doing like a Monty Python's funny walk through the forest or what?
Yeah. So, I mean, do you guys search around?
First of all, who notices that? I don't remember if it was all of us. Who calls it, and do they call it out?
I'm not exactly sure. I thought Sir Garen noticed it.
Okay.
Yeah, I think I went in to make an offering at the suggestion of the hermit that we ran into, and I think this session starts with me slowly backing away from the offering to
Garen, what's wrong?
notify the rest of the crew that this could be bad. It's probably not good.
Give me a power check. Is that actually a stat? Oh my god, I gotta have to look.
It's like I do that all the time crossing game systems.
The stat? No. I know, right? Too many game systems in my brain at once.
It's not.
He hits hard and fast, so probably all right.
Stats are weird.
Yeah.
I hope that translates to running.
Well, it could be.
Oh, would it be awareness, maybe?
Let's see. No, we're gonna go. Oh, of course you don't have any kind of mental stats because it doesn't have mental stats in Pendragon.
What does that matter?
That's right.
Bunch of meatheads.
I'm gonna call it. Why don't we do? I guess you decide. Yeah, because there's no mental stats in Pendragon, so I guess it would be up to you.
Maybe what are we trying
kind of give guidance to your to Sir Garen. You said he backs away. Does he back away cautiously? Does he back away?
I would. Garen would be startled, maybe a little unnerved that the realization that he's standing in a footprint. If it were, so my highest in the skills is awareness, which is a 20. So I think I would be able to, scan about to see if there's any nearby danger, as well as pulling back towards the party and saying, "Hey."
I think with a 20, you might know that guy. I don't know.
Right, you might even know who he is, right?
Oh, yeah.
That's Sir Bourne. So you back away from the standing stones, and you very respectfully step up out of the footprint, back towards your horse, and at that time, the trees just kind of like rustle with the wind a little bit, and Roone and Calyard on their horses just bolt. They go splashing down through the stream, up over the hill, and they're just riding off, and they're like trying to control their horses.
What do our horses do? Because we're off of them. Do they bolt as well?
Your horses do nothing. No response whatsoever.
I would immediately get on my horse and begin to follow Roone. Calyard is a horseman in his own right, so we should be fine. I believe he was the other horseman. So
they do tend to kind of go in a similar direction, not directly together. So you don't think they're taking off together. They're definitely riding off.
It's definitely the horse more than them.
Yeah, it's the horse. The horse seems to be very skittish. You're a horseman. Like, it doesn't take you very much to realize that that the horses were spooked by something, and they have made a run for it. As fast as they possibly could.
I'm going to look to see where, so if they're fleeing from a specific, looking at their vibe and see if our horses are aware, I would kind of scan the general direction that they might be running away from to see if I can get any inkling of what they're running from. Was it a snake or was it a giant?
You get the idea that they're spooked from the standing stone itself. If you look at the trajectory of the direction they ran, and you could assume that they are fleeing directly away from the standing stone itself.
Garen, it's bewitched. Look, they're running from the stone.
I feel like we've made our offering, and that seems like a good route to follow. And we have been charged to make sure that Roone doesn't unintentionally or intentionally get himself killed. So.
And that's precisely why I'm going to go follow him now. I'm going to hop on my pony.
Yeah, so you run and you swoop up on your pony in this, very cool manner. Your hair just kind of like glides through the air. It's just like completely slow-mo, like a movie shot as he's like
Jason, like midget Jason Momoa
Yeah,
jumping
like-
on a pony.
Like a
exactly
Pantene
like
commercial
Jason
or something.
Momoa. You actually probably leap in such a way that your body is completely horizontal for a brief moment as you slide up onto the horse and begin to ride. As you go down the hill, your horse gets to the edge of the little stream there, and it stops. And it backs away from the stream and kind of kicks the water a little bit. Give me a horsemanship roll to guide your horse into the stream.
I got a 10 under 15.
Beautiful. So easily for you, you kind of coax him on, do your loving stroke on the side of his neck, whatever it is, and he manages to go forward. Is everyone else following, or what does?
So I would absolutely be jumping on the horse. I mean, he says, we have to protect Roone or whatever they called out quickly. I would just follow in line, but I would have drawn my sword, I think, just to in case.
Okay.
So
Bjorn, you're the biggest person I know, and you're not this big. I don't think I've ever seen a giant, but I think we should get out of here.
Yeah, you definitely never seen a giant face to face. Absolutely not. Or not even.
Hopefully, we won't.
Not even shin to face. Not even shin to face. Pretty much. So yeah. So you guys managed to, after Ulo kind of guides us. You see Ulo's horse stop at the stream, kind of neighs back and rises up a little bit, and then proceeds to go. And your horses do a very similar thing, but they follow a little easier than Ulo's pony.
Is their hair standing up, or so there's like the signs to look for when an animal is really spooked by something that, what's the demeanor? Is it wild-eyed, or is it just like, okay, something flashed? What's the vibe?
Yeah, it's a little wild-eyed. Absolutely.
There's nothing back there.
Nothing behind you, no. You seem that they're kind of spooked. Your guys' horses are kind of spooked by the creek as you ride as you go through it.
Okay.
Deeper into the forest.
Oh shit. Okay.
And
so we're not going back towards camp. We're following spooked horses.
You're kind of uncertain, but your navigation would tend to believe, because you were looking at where this was and stuff like that. You believe that they are actually riding deeper into the woods.
Oh, that sounds good.
And you guys kind of, are trying to follow them as fast as you can. Ulo, give me an awareness check.
Garen.
I got a 10 out of 10.
Go ahead, sorry.
So a critical success.
Okay. You realize really quickly you don't see any tracks from their horses. The ground doesn't even seem disturbed as you ride this way.
I don't see any at all.
You don't.
Can I still see either of them?
No, can't see them whatsoever.
And I have no tracks at all.
Correct.
I would kind of stop. And just start looking around for tracks. Like actually get off my horse and start looking.
Okay. You don't just do that cool Hun thing, just lean down, just kind of look at the ground, smell it. Oh, that's true. He's only 4 foot something. He can't reach the ground.
He needs
even on his little pony, he can't quite reach the ground.
On top of my pony still
a folding ladder that just kind of folds.
He can still ride under Bjorn's horse.
Yeah. Ulo and I are just. I'm still looking down at him.
Okay. All right. So you guys search around for, I'm gonna say probably 5 or 10 minutes, and
I
you
think
don't see.
I think I'd be calling out as well, like.
Oh yeah, yeah. I picture you're yelling
just
out.
calling out for either of them, both of them.
Our agreement did not include chasing him to our death, Garen. Let's turn back. They've gone mad.
No. we have one job, and he's somewhere in these woods. We've got to find.
I'm sure we'll find him soon enough. As I slap my horse on
I mean, you're never going to get that sword if you don't.
Yeah.
You got a point there.
We're bringing something back.
You're right. Come with your shield on it.
Any movement, anything that we're seeing in the forest?
So as you're looking around, you're not really seeing a lot of movement. You kind of look in the general direction that Beardsley is looking. You look kind of in the general direction that Ulo is looking. You look your own direction, and it seems like whenever you look your own way, you can feel kind of the trees and stuff. Kind of, you feel like they might be speaking to you, or kind of giving you some sort of guidance. And give me a spiritual roll. So that's you're a spiritual whirly. You're 10 out of 10 there.
A 4.
A 4. So clearly, you're gathering some steam and kind of feeling inspired. You feel like perhaps the connection that you made with the offering, that something is telling you this direction.
Okay. Gentlemen, I don't know what it is, but I think we got to go this way. I'll start heading that way. I don't know that I'm going in a gallop. I'm just cautiously moving through the forest.
Okay. So as you begin to move this direction, the trees are thick. They're old. These are old trees. This is not a newer area of the forest at all. You can see something up ahead. It kind of looks like maybe a dark form, maybe some sort of building or structure.
Like wood, stone, like what? How dilapidated?
It's hard to tell. The forest is really thick.
Okay.
But as you continue to get kind of closer to it, you can make it out more and more. It's a tower.
Is it tall enough to house a giant?
Yes.
Oh, shit. I point that out. That's just the right size for that giant to be in, pointing out here, as I've got my sword and shield ready to go.
And if there is an entrance, it's not from the standpoint that you are looking at now.
Do we see any horses? Any people?
You do not.
Any smoke in nearby? Can I smell smoke from like a camper cooking fire?
Are there any animals or anything, any life at all?
Yes, there is. There seems to be kind of an abundance of life, actually. The more you think about it, you look around, and it seems like the animal life here isn't really being spooked by your presence.
That's because it's protected.
And the trees are pointing us towards this.
Yeah, you feel a connection, like it's definitely drawing you this direction.
Let's keep moving in that direction.
Do we hear
kind of following
the others? Roone in particular? Yeah. Can we hear them?
I'm sorry?
Can we hear Roone or any indication of their being around?
So you do not hear anything. You just hear the sound of the forest more than anything. The tower is very tall, and it's made of a dark stone. As you kind of round around the one side, the north side has a large single doorway, and several high windows. There are really no signs of any life around here other than the forest itself.
And there's no sign.
Is it like a...
If the horses had just come through here, the ones we were chasing, then there'd be some disturbance and like birds, whatever. There's none of that. It's just
absolutely. Absolutely nothing along that lines.
Is this like a drawbridge door or a door that we can...
No, it seems to be large enough for a man, but not large enough to ride a horse.
To that point, Beardsley, they weren't spooked by our presence, so they might not have been spooked by their presence, to think of it in that sense.
But we didn't just ride through either. We've stopped and gotten off our horses, have we not?
Yeah, but it's still not normal for them to be that calm.
Yeah, and I call out just so, again, Roone! Calliard! Nothing?
Yeah, you holler out, but no response. Do you guys approach the tower at all?
Yeah.
How close do you get?
We're sure to at least check it.
I'm not sure. Beardsley said we got off our horses. I'm not sure, unless I have to. I think I would ride up towards the door of this.
I think Beardsley was referring to off your horses back where the footprint was.
Well, you said the forest was hyper thick here. Are we riding?
It is. You can still ride here.
We can. Okay, fine.
Yeah.
I would not have gotten off.
If we can ride, we're not getting off.
So
these trees are really old, so it has a very high. The tree limbs aren't very low to the ground.
Got it. Okay. Got it. So yeah,
so
we're just chomping them.
Bjorn, as you get, you draw your axe. You said, and do you just ride your horse up to the tower, or are you dismounting and approaching?
I'm not much for horses, so I'd probably just walk.
Okay. Yeah. So you walk up to the tower.
They don't make horses that big.
Yeah, they do actually, but just not in England. So you look and
where there's cold water.
Close up, the walls of this tower seem completely smooth. No noticeable brick or stonework.
How close am I?
You tell me.
I would walk up fairly close to it, provided I don't. So here's.
So you realize as you're close enough to it that you can tell that there's no real brick or stonework lines or anything in it. It's almost as if this entire tower is made from a single piece of stone.
Like, is it like volcanic stone, just like completely smooth and like super creepy?
It is. It actually seems to be made of the same stone that was used for the standing stone.
Can I pee on it and make it mine?
You can.
No, I don't want to do that.
I will allow it. As any good keeper or GM would say, you can certainly try.
Can I take my axe and just reach out and just tap? Just see.
Kind of checking to see if it scratches it or whatever.
Or if it's even solid. Just like, I'm not 100% sure since that this is real.
So your axe hits it just as if it's stone. It doesn't seem to scratch it very much though.
Well, that's limited my knowledge.
Resilient to your blade.
My people are.
You're knock on the door.
I'm trying.
So there is actually no door. It's just a door. It's just a doorway.
Oh, you could ride in?
The horse can't go in now. It's not big enough to ride a horse into it. You would have to leave the horses outside.
So,
and there does seem to be one singular tree that has a low-hanging branch.
It's kind of
perfect for horses.
Does it go down? Does it sort of go down into the earth, or is it like, what's the diameter of the tower?
No, it seems like the diameter is probably about 80 foot across.
Okay.
Right.
Divided by 2.
Horses.
Should tire horses up.
High.
Let's go in and see if our friends are in here. And friends is a term used loosely.
So I'm kind of picturing like everybody gets off their horses. You kind of tie your horses up, and you weapons drawn. Anybody other than Bjorn with a drawn weapon?
Yeah, not at this point.
Yeah.
Beardsley has a sword out. Okay.
I'll have my bow out at this point.
Okay.
We're outside still.
And my
Okay.
axe.
Well, you're about to be not outside, so you may at this point you may consider if you go into some sort of close quarters fighting, a bow is not gonna really do very much for you.
Nope.
He's like, nope.
Typically, guests that come walking in with weapons drawn aren't as greeted as nicely as those who.
So almost as if walking through a thick, sound-absorbing curtain, as you make your way through the open doorway, you begin to hear. See that it's just an empty chamber with a circular stairwell that leads around the inside of the 80-foot of the tower that leads upwards. You can hear the faint sounds of music, although no clear idea of where it's coming from.
What's the instrument?
It's really hard to tell.
So just some kind of melody.
Yeah, you can just hear something being played. You're not really sure whether it's...
Yeah. Just thinking like like fluty sound, or is it like a hammery piano-y sound?
Yeah. Kind of more fluty.
Okay.
More fluty.
I hate fluty.
You guys call out for Calyard?
Absolutely.
Yeah, like the whole time. I would think we're kind of walking along.
Yeah, right. No response.
Same thing for Roone.
Okay. Yeah, no response whatsoever.
Maybe they respond to music. I don't know.
No horses. No other, just music.
Is there
Can we take
anything?
the stairs?
So Beardsley is an accomplished musician. So is there maybe? I mean, can he tell like is it a type of folk music? It is older or anything like that? Can I tell from the melody itself? Is it like one of the songs of the Fae sort of thing?
I would say yeah. It's definitely seems to be reminding you of those times where you were at one of the pagan festivals and you could hear like the Fae folk style melodies of the spring.
I have folklore and fairy lore. Does that help me in any way?
You definitely can get the feeling of the style of music as you get closer to the stairs.
They play songs of the Fae. Where's it? So we're going into this tower, I guess. Like, what's ahead of us? Is it?
Yeah, you're inside the tower, and inside the tower, it's just one open room with a staircase that leads up into the top of the tower, that leads up into darkness.
Is there any clear door or anything like? Okay, this is a weird architecture, but I think I'm taking Garen's point. At this point, there's no giant standing around in here, so I'll put my
it doesn't.
away.
Yeah, there's no giant standing around, and the staircase is not designed for a giant.
Yeah, I put my.
Fate has
away.
brought us here, my friends. Let's go see what's going on.
Aye.
Okay. Is Sir Garen taking point?
Yeah.
He seems
Right behind Bjorn.
All right.
More for me.
So Bjorn, Garen, I'm assuming then probably Beardsley and then Ulo in the rear.
And is it a single file staircase, or can we walk?
It is a single file staircase.
All right. Yeah.
I also I have my axe, and when we start ascending, I pull my my shield as well.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
so you
thing.
ascend the staircase. As you get probably a good 30 to 40 feet up the staircase, it kind of like goes kind of into like the wall, or what it appears, and it opens up into a chamber. The smell of flowers, wine, food, the hearing of the music is much louder up here as the smell of lilacs and honeysuckle kind of overcomes your senses as you come up into this room. And there on a fluffy couch, sitting with three very voluptuous women wearing some sort of like kind of sheer shift of some point. You can see both Roone and Calyard sitting there enjoying these festivities, the table in front of them just groaning under the serious weight of food and drink that is lavishly laid out here. Roone is just dipping his head backwards as one of the ladies is dripping grapes into his mouth as Calyard is drinking wine from the other lady's bosom.
Can you describe that whole scene again? I'm almost there.
Could you describe it in slow-mo, though? Could you describe it in slow-mo?
One more time, real slow.
Drink from a bosom.
Like, why are the first, 45 minutes of this stream episode watched more than anything?
By Steve. I don't know.
Steve watched it 300
times. 10 times.
Only the first 15 seconds, though. It's weird.
One of the ladies looks out to you and kind of, she's on one knee on the couch already. She kind of leaps up, holding out this giant goblet of wine in Bjorn's direction.
No.
I stick out to Roone.
You don't take these things, no.
Yeah.
So, Roone, what is the meaning of this? You are delaying the hunt. Certainly, you wish to continue, don't you?
Well, it looks to be hunting, Beardsley.
Of course. I was hunting, but I have found the beaver.
I
the whispering eye. Yeah.
Being in the woods.
So being that
it
he's
is
modest,
a great thing.
Yeah. So I'm a bit modest, right? So, hold your tongue and speak not that way of these women. We must go and resume the hunt for your father's honor. Come. There will be time for this when you've proven yourself worthy of your knighthood. Or are you not worthy? I would hate to have to report that back to your father.
Oh, ow.
The one woman that Calyard is drinking the wine from her bosom steps forward and hands out to you this cornucopia of fruit that's flowing out. And she lifts her arm up to your, she's standing on the edge of the table, and she holds her arm down to your mouth as she pours some of the wine down her arm, and it runs down her fingers.
So
towards you.
I'm very temperate, right? So I've got like a high degree of temperate. I slap her hand out.
Oh,
of the
no.
way. I just knock her hand out of the way. Do not tempt me. I have a mission, as Garen will happily tell you, and I'm trying not to look at her whiny bosom. As Garen will happily tell you, we are on a mission.
It's
and we
very,
cannot
very
fail.
hard to not look at her bosom.
Yes, it is.
As hopefully Garen will come and tell you. I kind of.
I look back at Ulo and just sort of nod my head towards him and be like, no.
So, yeah. So you look back, and I'm gonna need Ulo and Garen to make me a roll versus your chaste and lustful. Because
You lusty
while
bastards.
some of us don't like to party, some of us do.
So I need to roll my chase.
You do, in fact, need to roll your chaste, which is a 6. Would you like to take this opportunity to perhaps channel one of your wonderful passions?
I think I'm going to try that.
perhaps a loyalty to your lord?
That's what I was gonna go with. Fealty to my lord.
Okay.
Which is a 17.
You could do fealty to Brent's character for fear that they may discover his tail. If they get him naked.
Yeah.
So I got a 4 under 17 to fealty to my lord.
Nice.
Oh man,
Nice.
you
Hell yeah.
kick her in the face.
So that is going to give you a +10.
Okay.
So you will be rolling versus a 16, thankfully, to your...
So if you meet it, you make it, right?
If you meet it, you make it.
I got a 16.
So technically, that is a critical success.
Ooh. There are 2 of these things, Byron, or were there 4? How many?
There are 3 women
There were 3,
that
okay.
you see.
I can take 2. It's fine.
I'll take 2. In which way will you take 2? I guess I should say.
If I have my way, you'll take them out in baggies. They're witches.
So
Not leftovers. Yeah.
I resist the urge to join this wonderful dinner.
anyone with fairy lore?
Yeah. Mhm.
What did Sir Garrett get?
I didn't roll yet.
Oh, let's
All right.
get him
A,
to
si-
roll
a
first.
6 on my roll to loyalty to Lord, so I get
Nice.
a +10. And I rolled a 16 on a 17 for
Woo!
chase.
Good thing you got that there, huh?
At which point I would bow to the lady and thank her for the hospitality. And may I ask of the Lord of this fine tower, where might he be?
So you asked him that. So anyone that would want to can make a fairy lore roll.
Hold on. I rolled a 4 for loyalty.
I
Okay.
failed my fairy lore.
So
same
only Garen and Ulo needed to roll the
Oh.
chase loss.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay.
That's
I thought we were like
Nope,
investigating.
it wasn't everybody. Well, you are, but those people particularly lean to the other side of things.
Because
So it would
they're
be out of their
perverts.
norm to.
Some of us like to party, beyond.
They're lusty perverts, is what they are.
Yeah. Well,
I failed my fairy lore.
Okay. It's no harm. It just doesn't give you any information. Bjorn, you had fairy lore, right?
yeah. I rolled a 4 for the fealty to the Lord.
Okay. Giving you a
And-
+10.
Yeah, so that brings me up to 12, and I got an 8.
Okay. So you do realize that this is particularly one of the things that the hermit was warning you about. So you do know that if this is definitely the land of the fairy, and anyone who would eat or drink anything would be unable to leave.
Hey, Garen, you want some food?
You won't be able to beat me up from in here.
Yeah, in here in your eternal orgy. That'll get even with you.
I let everyone know the same. I let everyone know, you know, according to lore, this is absolutely a trap. This is something that will contain, and now we have some negotiating to do to get Roone and Calyard.
How do we break the spell? Do we need to kill them?
I mean,
So the one woman stands up and stands onto the table. It groans underneath her weight, along with the food and so forth. And she says, "These men are concubines for our queen. They must stay."
Little Roone?
Yeah. And she kind of
Gross.
stands. She kind of puts her hands back against Calyard and Roone's chests.
So
They're completely uninterested in getting up.
So she's standing on the table. It's groaning under her weight. I got a 10 and 10. How do I evaluate a decision? If I want to see if I want to make a reckless call here, because I see a cinematic thing.
If you're a 10 and 10, you're free to make your own.
Okay, so how about this? I glance at Calyard. I want to try to read him. What's his? Is he looking tense? Like he's like, okay, this is getting weird.
Oh, it's definitely no tense.
No, I'm. Not
They look
Kelly,
like they just did like tequila shots from the boobs and had a very nice evening.
I meant Garen. I'm so sorry.
No, they're pitching tense out back.
Yeah.
What's Garen's stance? Is he relaxed? Is he starting to kind of tense up? Because
I'm not sure. You have to ask Garen.
Yeah. What do I see?
Yeah, I've asked to speak to the Lord. I'm not tense, but I definitely, based on Bjorn's deal, we've got to figure a way to get Roone out of here. And it's easy to say, since I would trade Calyard for Roone, but we've got to get Roone out.
I'm gonna kick the leg of the table out, right? So I'm gonna say, he asked you nicely, wench, and I kick the leg of the table out.
Wow.
So funny enough, attacking women in their own home would not be a sign of a very merciful person. Thankfully for you,
I'm very cruel.
You're not. You're very cruel.
Yes.
And so it says you would actually have to succeed a cruel roll to do it, but you don't because you are a cruel ass bastard.
I am not trying to hurt her so much as throw her to the ground. Okay.
Yeah, understood.
Yes.
So you
Can I ask a question really, really, really quick?
Yes, 100%.
What's everyone's weapons made out of?
Oh, steel.
Iron.
Yeah.
Mine's iron because
the swords are steel.
What?
Okay. All right. You have a wood sword? What's wrong with you?
He's not
for practice. I'm not good with it. It's still children's size.
All right. I'm just making sure for something in a minute. So
aluminum.
This is tinfoil. I made a hat to match.
Bjorn, it looks like negotiations. And I'm kind of saying this calmly, but with a little bit of emphasis.
Yeah.
So
we need to grab Roone at the first chance that we can grab.
So the one lady that was kind of standing on the table, she kind of loses her footing a little bit, and but gracefully regains her composure.
I think Byron
steps down onto the floor. Yeah.
As he's making that kick to sort of punctuate what Garen's saying, as one does not negotiate with the Fae, and I kick boom, and kick the table, and then she just floats down, and I look like an asshole.
Yeah, she just kind of, she kind of floats down a little bit. Not that that she's not affected by the gravity, but just that she seems to have an unnatural
some
race. One of the other ladies steps forward and says to Garen, she says, "You can take them, assuming you leave us something of value in return. Perhaps you would like to stay yourself. I can sense it. Your lust, your pants grow tight."
Your beauty is unmatched, no, for sure. And this display of food and wine is quite nice. But I'm afraid we have to take our friend Roone and get out of here. And I try to be as complimentary as I can be.
Yeah.
You don't negotiate with the Fae. I know that for sure. You do not do it.
Tarry not, Garen. They're getting in your head.
Also, don't anger them unnecessarily.
In their own realm.
Just want to get our friends and get out of here.
So no, staying is not going to happen this day. Maybe another day. What else do you propose?
Do you need? Can I do anything?
You can do whatever you want.
No.
Does she have a counter?
I am talking to this.
Oh, you're talking to them.
To this woman saying, there will be no trade. However, we can do things. We can, we can go perform tasks. We can, do whatever. But
you would do a task?
And then now you want to become their errand boy, Bjorn?
Shut up,
She says, while we don't have any tasks immediately at hand, would you owe us a future task?
Bjorn, you bargain with your soul, you fool. What are you doing? I get in between the two of them and try to like, hello, stop this madness.
And he holds out, she holds out her hand, and there's like some kind of like the stems of the grapes that are in her hand, and the grapes kind of roll away out of her hand, and the stems are still there. And as she kind of moves her hand, like in a like almost like she's massaging the grape stems, it twists into a ring, and she says, for the return of an errand, you shall wear the ring, and you may retrieve but one of your friends. For this one, I believe, really wants to stay. As she points to Calyard, and Calyard is like just mouth kissing one of the chicks. That's like,
hey, Garen, I got you a ring.
Well, if there is a place that's appropriate.
You offered the favor, my friend. You shall.
I asked a question.
Yeah, this is that point in Conan when she says, "There is a prize barbarian."
Well, if there is a place that's appropriate for someone with a tail to wind up, I suppose this is it, isn't it? We can't leave Calyard. We can't.
Okay. Well, he does seem to want to stay, and we do only need one of them.
We can come back for him.
Yeah, we can. We need to make sure that the Lord's son is good to go. So, you put me on the spot here, Byron.
Yeah. No, you kind of put yourself on the spot. You said, "Is there something I can do for you?"
Bjorn, for peace. Take the ring. Let's get Bjorn and get back to our home.
Hold on, let me look at my stats. Let me see how dumb I am.
There's no mental stats in Pendragon.
Yeah, we're all meatheads, man.
You're as dumb as you want to
be. You're as dumb or not dumb as you want to be. They do seem to be thoroughly distracted by Calyard and talking to Bjorn. Garen, you think that there could be a chance that you could grab Roone?
Can I?
Okay.
There seems to be a bit of focus on Bjorn right now.
Can I make an awareness check to see if I notice Garen noticed that?
I mean, how would you notice if you noticed?
I would have noticed somebody noticing.
I'm not sure that.
Are you paying
I'm not sure that's possible.
Do you see him coiling up and getting ready to do something?
He looks like this. Like, I see what you see.
Multi-tracking. I want to see what Bjorn's going to do, and I'm also trying to get a lay of the land.
He looks like he's calculating.
I continue trying to talk and get particulars, but it's kind of filler talk for now.
She definitely is sold on you taking the ring. She says, "If not the ring, the wine, we shall drink. We shall drink upon the bargain." And she presents an amphora of wine. Will you not drink for the task?
Rumor has it the Calyard.
Are you afraid of a woman?
You're not a woman.
Still your tongue. We are trying to live up to our word. And I kind of... You give us our friend back.
Your friend does not want to leave.
No, I meant that one. I point to Roone.
I'm definitely stalling.
I'll start to move closer to Roone.
Okay.
I'm not gonna make like a leap over there, but I'm gonna be watching negotiations. I'm kind of,
I say I don't want to make a bargain unless you can prove that he's okay, that he's back to normal.
He's completely fine.
Doesn't seem to be. He's drunk. Bring him back. Do the magic shit. Bring him back. I want to see him sober. Does he sober up?
You still have to wait till morning for that.
No bargain.
Perhaps the two of us could sleep it off for you.
You guys go sleep it off. I'm not. My chaste and lustful's a 10. I don't give a shit. This is like deciding on what I want for lunch. I got 2 or 3 girls plus Beardsley's sister back at the camp. It's fine.
Well, she did ask if you were afraid, but I don't feel that that's very threatening to your thing. So I'm not going to force a roll there. But you are more valorous than cowardly by far.
And
throw me the ring. Throw me the ring, Bjorn.
I'm not touching that.
She handed it to you.
No, she's trying to hand it to him.
He's like moving his hand
I'll
away
put
from
my
her.
hand out.
If only I didn't have this axe and shield in my hand. I could grab that ring.
Sorry, they're super busy.
For peace,
this was made of iron.
I will trade you a favor for Bjorn.
For Roone.
Roone? I was like, bad news. Clarify really quickly.
She leaps up on the edge of the couch, kind of perched, almost like a gargoyle, and she slowly reaches out with the ring and hands it to you. And like she has it to put on your finger, Garen.
I won't put it on my finger. I'll pull it from her hand.
Okay.
Dear lady.
Go ahead.
I will owe you a favor, and I will wear this ring, but I won't put it. I'll put it on when we leave with our friend.
Nice.
So
today's episode is going to be with this ring, I thee wed.
If you want it, then you should have put a ring on it.
Yeah, if you want to put a ring on it, that's it.
All the single Garens. All the single Garens.
She says, then Sir Roone is yours. But this one, and she points over to Calyard as the woman climbs on his lap, and she says, he stays.
Rumor has it he's a fine lover. Enjoy. We'll walk over, grab Roone by his collar, and start to head back towards the door.
Like he's a bad dog.
I stop Garen kind of on the way.
Well, I'm assuming he's going to be charmed or something like that. We're going to have to carry him out of there.
You've got to promise me, Garen, that we come back for him. We can't allow him to just be here in Saucel by fairies.
Can't agree to that.
I hold out this sort of warrior's handshake, like, promise me.
And I put the ring on your finger. I nod and shake his hand and continue to drag.
Oh, I was like, man, you really put the ring on his finger? That'd be fucking amazing.
No, you gross, no.
That would have been awesome, dude.
This won't be the first bargain I make in this game of Pendragon for peace, so
specifically
today.
Might be your last. I don't know.
You did say you put the ring on, but you didn't say on what. So, put it on the horse.
We'll come back when we know more about what's at risk here.
And we clarify, it goes on his finger, right? I'm not sure contextually. Yeah.
So, Garen,
it is a rather large ring.
As you have it in your hand,
must be mine.
And you begin to hold it. It does twist and turn in your hand, almost as if alive, and it does weave its way around your finger.
Such is life.
Kind of reforms itself.
Let's go.
And I want to just to check something. I take my axe and I poke Roone with it.
He's real.
Well, no. As in,
he's now dead. Thanks for nothing, Bjorn.
Yeah. What the hell?
I owe a favor for a stab.
I roll for damage. Ah, shit. No, I'm thinking, my axe is iron. I can see if he's fey. I'm just trying to check something. I don't want any.
Yeah.
So it's Roone. Okay.
Yeah, it's Roone.
All right. Cool. That's all I want to know.
Is he still sort of in that weird ensorcelled state, or is he back to normal? Like, what's happened to me?
He does not seem ensorcelled or anything like that, or charmed or glamored in any way, shape, or form. Unlike your friend Calyard, who is enjoying and having a time of his life.
That could be us.
As he shall forever.
Anyone else want to take a ring for them? So.
Anybody else want a ring? Anybody else want to get married in Vegas?
Let's go.
I updated Sir Calyard's permanent image on the stream there, so I think that does it.
Yeah. So you scoop up Roone, and you begin leaving. As you exit the room, the music begins to play louder, and as you get about partially down the staircase, you could hear Calyard's screams of ecstasy coming from the upper part of the tower as you're walking away.
Oh, that was
fast.
Nub.
He loves that.
He's quick. Rub the nub.
Fast.
Rub the nub.
Rub the nub.
Rub the nub. And
that should be the episode title. I won't do it, but
as you guys get to the base of the tower inside, you notice 3 knights. Their armor completely held together by twigs and clover and sticks and so forth, almost as if their bodies themselves are made of the forest. And all of their armor is engraved in leaves and fairy symbols and so forth. And they stand out of your way as you exit the door.
Heraldry, would heraldry help me know what the origin of these? Are they just from some other realm kind of thing? They're not like corpses.
So you can, I'll give you a heraldry. Okay. I'll give you a heraldry. You're going to need probably a very good number.
Great, because I've got a reasonably all right number at best. So let's see. It's going to be a 2 out of 10. What's that do?
So a 2 out of 10 is a success. So you definitely think they're knights of the Fey realm. Unfortunately, you can't identify.
Like rumored from storybooks or some such thing. Like no.
Yeah, like knights of the Fey.
Yeah, I was more worried that they were what Calyard's going to wind up as. Yeah. You know.
I would
possibly.
I figured that's who we would have been fighting, if not more, had we.
Can I glance down to look at their hands to see if they have any sort of a ring on?
They don't.
Okay,
good call.
Just checking, Gary.
Actually, their hands are armored gauntlet, or like gloves.
But they don't appear to be.
You see, like,
they're not
where the wrist and forearm would be between that and the vambraces on their arms is just like tree twigs and limbs and stuff.
Do they give off kind of like an automaton vibe, or like we represent the Perry? Okay.
Yeah, little bit of automaton style thing.
So kind of keeping an eye on them. We'll get out of here.
So as you go outside, you notice that Roone's horse is by yours. And you go out. As you exit the doorway, the sound of music and stuff fades from your ears and your hearing, and it opens up into a meadow of flowers and so forth that was not here when you entered. As you glance back to look at the tower, it is just a ruined, overgrown tower of ivy and so forth going up the sides of the tower.
The quicker we make haste and get away from this place, the better. The ring, what does it look like as I'm riding like Roone secure on his horse? And
yeah, it just looks like a ring made from twines and leaves.
It shouldn't be lost on any of us that we saw exactly what they wanted us to see. This isn't over. I fear that you've jeopardized your soul, Garen. We should not let this come
pagan.
up. We should. Oh, you are, aren't you?
My soul is secured through battle.
Oh yes, that's right. I'll pray for you, friend. I promise.
Okay. So as you guys ride on from here, it seems like only a few moments, and you ride over the hill, and you can see the stream. Roone is very, like, his demeanor is very relaxed. He is not like this, rambunctious child that he was at the beginning.
Got the bad seed in it, apparently. That's how that works, right?
Yeah, you got to get rid of the seed. That's all. And so you ride past the standing stone. It opens up into some rolling hills and stuff outside of the foresty area where you guys remember. You look back, don't even see the standing stone on the other side of the hill there as you ride off back towards the HQ, I guess, or the area.
Would
I ride up next to Garen and I clap him on the back and I say, had the ring been a little bigger, I would have put it on my finger.
I'm sure you would.
Okay.
Garen,
So
we
you
actually
guys,
Assuming I can't remove it, correct?
that is correct. You find yourself unable to remove it.
Oh, you did. Okay.
So, until payment has been wrought. And we'll have to determine what that is. That will be a whole
Payment is always due.
whole little scenario on its own, probably. And so, you guys ride back to the area. There's more kind of feast going on. Many of the knights have returned. The sun is going down. You could see several of the knights around a giant boar on a spit that seems to have been cooking for a while. And very quickly the sun, goes down. It almost like it was just hanging in the sky long enough for you to get back to the area. It seems like it goes down relatively quickly.
Well, I'm feeling stressed and want to party. So
Oh yeah.
I would feast and drink and merry make.
Absolutely.
What is Roone? So you mentioned Roone's demeanor has changed, like as the feast picks up and we're all kind of drinking. And I think there's this moment where we friends, right, come together and like, yeah, we survived. And I think Beardsley would really be kind of applauding Garen's leadership, foolhardy leadership maybe at that. But like, what's Roone doing? Is he walking around talking about how he punched a bunch of fairies in the face? Like,
No, he's not. He's not really bringing that up at all. He seems to, like I said, just be much more resigned, almost like a different person completely.
Perhaps it's best that our friend
we
remains
sure
behind.
It's him.
Yeah, you don't get that idea. You don't get the idea like maybe he's a doppelganger or something like that. That's definitely not that kind of difference. But you can see like how an event has changed him in some manner.
Hopefully for the better. We drink.
I mean,
Yeah. So there
he's
is
not talking, so he's for the better.
yeah.
Yeah.
So you guys merry make have the remaining part of the party, which is Roone's birthday party. And there is dancing, women, wine, food, Sir Gerard, or Earl Gerard, allows Roone the special place of carving the first pieces of the boar with his kitchen knife, I guess.
I keep a close eye on.
I would try to find Sir Lyric and
yeah,
have a chat about the day's events.
Interesting. So you just tell him the whole deal?
Yeah.
He says, that's astonishing.
Outside of the ring. I mean, obviously I'd have the ring and I would try to downplay it, maybe keep it in my pocket, but
he kind of like, does the cross on his chest. He says, it is only from the glory of God that you have been saved by these things.
Yeah, that's it.
He says, Calyard was a brave man. It is a shame that he is sacrificed and lost to these things.
He seems pretty happy.
It would just be one more event his family shall talk about in the histories. I didn't expect that he would ever measure up to his father's standards.
I would walk away from the conversation at that point. Like, how rude, right? Like, just kind of, I'm not going to disrespect the Lord by any means, but I do want to keep an eye out on Roone anytime he is in possession of a sharp object. I'm not liking his vibe. I'm really not, because I'm convinced he's bewitched. He's been sent on an errand, and we're all fools for it.
Yeah. So you guys, like I said, you drink into the night and so forth, and not a lot really happens. You guys do whatever you choose to do. If you stay chaste or lustful or however you're going about it.
We're being very lustful. We just came from
so there are some
lustful and indulgent we are.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah. So you guys wake up in the morning.
I got 11 of a 13 on lustful. So
you don't got to roll. You can choose to do that. There's no roll necessary. Maybe a con roll to see how lustful you are. No, just kidding. But anyhow, so you guys managed to extract Roone from this situation, and in the morning, you guys awakened. I think if you picture Ulo probably wakes up in the field, no shirt and looking as stylish as ever.
My big bald all chest hair.
Like you're not sure if he's wearing a shirt made out of a bull or if he is a bull, or you're not really sure.
I just go get one of my extra shirts that I have on each.
Yeah. You think that if you ever came hard up for some money, you could probably shear him and sell his wool at the local farms market. So in the morning there is a ceremony, and Sir Gerard asks Roone to come forward and draw his sword. And as he's standing there in front of Sir Gerard, as he unsheathes his sword, you can literally see the tension on Beardsley's face. As the sword comes from his sheath, he points it at his father and turns the blade in his hand and presents the hilt to his father. His father takes it, asks him to kneel, and knights him.
Beheads him.
And he says, "Stand up, Sir Roone. Stand forward. Now in your glory, a full man in this world." He's like, "Are there others that would be worthy amongst these men to receive an honor like you?" And Roone turns around and he kind of surveys out in front of everyone. And he says, "Yes, there are those I would call brothers amongst these men."
I think we're all. I'm standing a little taller, right? Like,
I'm still looking a little disheveled.
What's up, bro?
And he says,
Look around.
he
puzzled.
says, most of all, Garen. He says, please come forward.
So, yeah, I come forward. I'm assuming that's the appropriate thing to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he says also, he's like, while not of these lands, they are men of blood and brotherhood, just like the others. Bjorn and Ulo, I would be proud to call you brothers.
Kind of just unknowingly. Go.
Yeah, I sort of follow whatever Garen does.
Yeah.
Basically.
And then he's like, Calyard, lost to the day's events, but not forgotten. He says, oh yes, and Beardsley.
I step forward and giving him this sort of long, as I approach, this knowing stare. And under my breath as I pass Sir Garen, I said it in the chat, but I say, Fey-tainted wretch.
Oh, Jesus.
Not talking about Garen, obviously, talking about that guy. That fucking
Right.
fop. Yeah, I bet I'm like,
So yeah, so as you come forward, Sir Earl Gerard knights all of you. And so you guys will receive 1,000 glory for being knighted.
what does that
So
mean?
much glory.
And for being the first called by Roone to call to brotherhood, we will give
Nice.
Garen 100 extra glory for his role in saving Roone.
Hey, Garen, I'd ask you to clap, but you got a weird ring on you.
The world is the world is a better
I would
place.
pay all of the pleasantries that are required at this moment with
Right.
vows to the.
So somebody
Yes.
had gotten a critical success, right?
Me.
Hello, Zulo.
Okay, yeah. So Ulo, you get an extra 20 glory for that.
Well, I'm supposed to do something with these numbers, huh?
Yeah, you can just scribble them down for right this moment.
Okay.
And you guys will all get 50 glory for defeating the knights, basically in the tower. And
Wait,
let's
how many
see
glory?
here.
See, we could have done something dumb like fight.
So you said 1,000, and then we all get what?
50.
Yep. And then it's probably going to be tough to realize, but go through your skills, and any skill that you successfully used at any point during this the episodes that we've played so far, you will get 10 glory for each one of those.
Oh wow.
So like if you used your sword skill, then that's 10 glory. If you used your whatever, as long as you made your roll, you will add that.
Cool.
For each 1,000 points of glory that you have, which now you have at least 1,000 because you were given 1,000, you will add one to your courtly skills. So orate, courtesy, and flirting will all increase by 1
Just what I need.
automatically.
Orate, what are they? Orate what?
Orate, courtesy, and flirting will all automatically go up by 1 for your gaining 1,000 glory.
All right. One more time for that.
And
'cause I
flirting.
was typing in the stuff.
Orate, courtesy, and flirting.
Flirting. Just the 24.
Damn,
And you will
Willow.
also gain +1 to heraldry and recognize.
My hair will get a 1. What's up?
Yeah,
You recognize the face shields now.
you do.
Look, it's got leaves on it.
You do.
No, not 111.
Let's see here. So,
And recognize, you said?
yeah.
Cool.
I'm gonna-
And are the the glory are just basically experience points, or do you spend them to increase?
They're made by experience points there. So we'll get to that here in a second.
Along the same lines of the question, do we gain 10 glory for each personality trait we had to make a roll against?
No, just this guy.
1. All right, so I did dancing. What else do we do?
What happens is, so for the personality traits, what happens is every time you roll, so which one was it that you rolled a critical success on? Chased. So you're chased, and you were trying to be chased, right?
Mm-hmm.
So your chased would go to a 7, and your lustful would drop to a 13, because you actually changed your skill with that.
Unfortunately.
So I need to change that also on you. 7/14 or 7/12.
So same question against the passions for each one we successfully used.
I'm not sure. I'm not 100% certain on that. I don't think so. I think those,
because all of them have the little check boxes whenever you successfully use them.
Yeah. So let's see here. So because we're done so early, it's hard to kind of judge how long it was going to take. And I think actually with the absence of an extra player or a player, that may have actually driven us to be done. Plus, you guys were really close to the end anyway. So you guys, we're going to go ahead and start kind of doing the winter phase side of things. So for those who have never done a winter phase in Pendragon, this is basically, so the scenario takes into kind of account that this is a year. And so we're not going to add a year to your age for this one, because it's a starting scenario, and kind of we just wanted to get people to get their feet wet, stuff like that, kind of see what was going on, get to know some of the skills and stuff like that a little bit, and so forth. So we're going to count this as like basically from your 20 to your 21, basically. So at the beginning of the winter phase, what happens, which is page 128 on the actual rule book, should anybody need to look it up in the future, you would formalize into a few steps that are handled in the order as they're presented. One would be if you needed to, like if a character wasn't here or something like that, they could perform a solo quest. Like if only 3 of the players could play for a while and maybe one person couldn't, they could do a solo quest to kind of catch up. So we can always do that for Brent, should we need to kind of gain him back from the fairy realm, should he be able to ever leave there. Then we roll for experience. So experience rolls, you look back over your time, and you would roll the same way as to whether you seek to increase a skill, a passion, or a trait. So it does take care of all those. You would roll 1d20 for each experience check that you have. So any skill, trait, passion that you used, you would roll a d20 basically. If it's greater than your current value, and so for the traits, you just roll whichever one the stronger is. You would roll for that, and if it is greater than the current value, you've learned from your experience, and you add 1 point to the value. If the value is already 20 or greater than only a 20, we'll raise it. So if you had a proud trait of 24 and you did you got a 20, then it would go to 25.
And is that the same for the passions?
Yes, it is, in fact. So now you would, so let's say if you did, for instance, Tyler, for yours, you're chaste and lustful. So even though you got that critical success and it changed automatically, you would then roll again. Now, in this particular case, you got the point for being chaste, so you would roll versus your chaste.
I thought you said you had to roll for the higher one.
I did, but I'm incorrect. I was looking at the thing.
So you roll for the lower one?
I got
you roll for whichever one you did at the particular time that you did it.
So then if I rolled a 15.
So the basic premise behind it is that is higher than your chaste.
Okay.
So your chaste would change yet again. So your chaste would now be 8, and then you would have a 12 in lustful.
With the personality traits, they stay between that 20.
Right. Yes, no automatically. Okay, they stay between the 20. Now the only exception to that is like if one is a 21 or 22 or 23 or whatever, then it's you're not 0 on the other. Well, actually, you would be 0 on the other. Right. It just wouldn't go to like -1 or whatever.
Right. Yeah. You'd stay at up
you would
to
stay
20.
You would stay at up to 20. So basically, what happens is as your character develops by acting in accordance or against your personality traits, your character moves that direction. So if you act against your character traits, then you will slide. Just like an evil character or a good character acting evil in D&D, your alignment would slowly slide towards the evil side of things.
So as we play the next session, anytime we make a roll against something, we should put a little dot next
You should put a little dot next to it, yeah. And that's my bad.
That's
for
what
not
the little check
that.
boxes are
So it's
for.
mostly like it's almost similar to Call of Cthulhu, right? Where if you
it is very similar. Yeah, very, very similar.
Ooh, my drum went up to 6. My pony defense went to 16. My awareness went to 11. That's over hunt. My hunting will go up by 1 to 11. And then I got
right. And then the only thing I really need to know on my end is, because I don't keep track of your skills, I just keep track of your traits and stuff, is if you had any points change in your traits, I need to know what those are. So, Tyler, you went to an 8 and a 12.
8 and a 12, chaste, lustful.
On chaste and lustful.
Chaste, yes.
Yep.
Bunch of my skills changed, but you don't want this.
Yeah, so I
will also go up.
I'm sorry, Tim.
No, go ahead. Finish with Tyler. You can just go.
Okay. Yeah.
I'm just kind of doing it out loud.
So you're good.
I'm gonna
do any of your other things change? Your temperate, indulgent, prudent, reckless, any of that? I don't think you rolled any of the others.
I didn't roll any of those.
Okay.
Chase, lustful.
So we'll go to Tim.
Chase went to 8 and lustful to 12.
Okay.
I rolled under everything else that I used.
Nice. Okay. Perfect. Well,
I don't like that. Those stayed the same.
Well, then you have to act in accordance to your. You have to act in accordance to your things. Then.
Fair enough.
Fair enough, right? All right. So, Jason, any of your traits change hands?
I don't think so. The only one that you checked me on this time was cruelty, but since I'm cruel, I didn't have to roll. So.
Right.
I've been trying to as I'm thinking about these things, I keep looking at the chart and being like,
Didn't you have to? No, you didn't have to make a prudent and reckless with
Correct.
the box, did you?
Nope.
So I do know that Steve, you had to roll a valorous cowardly roll, didn't you? Or was that the prudent reckless, or did you even? I don't even think you had to roll because you were acting in accordance.
Yeah, I don't think I had to, but I did roll.
Somebody rolled a spiritual, wasn't
it? Yeah. Garrett rolled Didn't Garrett roll a spiritual thing?
I did. I forgot to roll that one.
And I rolled
I did go up in spiritual. I went to 11 and a 9.
11-9. All right.
I forgot about that one.
Cool deal.
What about our fist fight? Because there's not a skill for fist fight.
Well, yeah, that's just
that would be like siege
statistics, and I don't think you're.
Yeah, those don't go anywhere. So what happens actually is as you age, you can actually lose attributes. So what happens is
you could gain experience in sword skill, 35. Right? I mean, it says skill passion trait.
You could, in fact.
But a fist fight.
Yeah, brawling is based off of dexterity.
Got
Just
it.
something that doesn't increase.
That makes sense.
Okay, and then the next step would be to do aging, which you don't age. Once you get 35 years or more, then you roll on the aging thing to see if any of your statistics are affected. They can range anywhere from, like, you roll 2d6 basically. You don't. None of you guys have to roll this because you're not 35 yet. But when you would eventually get there, you would roll, and on like a 6 to an 8, nothing happens, and then a 5 or a 9, you affect 1 attribute. A 4 or a 10, 2 attributes. A 3 or a 11, 3 attributes, and a 2 or a 12 would be 4 attributes. And you would basically roll, and that's you lose 1 point from each one of those attributes.
Which of those numbers causes an enlarged prostate? I'm asking for a friend.
I think you had to stay in your fairy realm for that. And that's if you put the ring somewhere else other than on your finger.
Nice.
All right, and then so after that, you would roll for economic circumstances. So every character must determine your situation in regards to food, money, clothing, possessions, holding, what have you. So that is general maintenance established under standards of living. So you are all rich knights, so you don't have any problem with getting any gold or anything like that. Anything important happen to your character's lands, economic needs. Nothing really happened to any of you during this particular time. And then based on the grade of maintenance, you keep various modifiers for the winter phase or what have you. You all are rich knights. +1 modifier for that. All grades of maintenance are reduced characters, suit of clothing. That doesn't matter. All right, so you own herds of horses that you provide with that provide you with replacement horses. Likewise, a household knight does the same. Rolls only needed for a knight errant or special horses such as large charger or ones imported. So you don't have any extra horses that you have or anything like that.
I was going to say, do I need to roll for my ponies?
You don't, because they're not abnormal in any way. For you, they're completely fine. Then you would, step 6 would be family roles. Your character's family already exists, but children are desirable, especially for a vassal knight. Ideal way to gain children through marriage. Once marriage is achieved, legitimate children are possible. Wife's glory and dowry are also desirable below. If your character is unmarried and wishes to remain so, you can skip the marriage and childbirth portion of the step. So is there anyone who would like to consider courting any of the ladies that were there?
Lord Byron, sadly I had a side interest that kept me from attempting to court one of those specific ones. But it turns out she's fallen and had a grievous injury. I was crushed, and over the winter we had a fantastic funeral for her. So no, I don't.
Ew.
Oh my.
That's one down.
That's great. One down. Like, she was crushed. Jesus. Okay, and then the family events table would basically determine whether it's important or unusual event in your particular family. So I need each one of you to roll me a d20.
Do you want to roll high or low?
Yes.
I'm using a dice roller, so
I got a birth in the family.
Oh, so you're looking at the chart. Your fancy book.
I just rolled a 20.
Well, you told me what page to go to.
I did tell you what page you go to. So yeah, so Tim, you had a birth in the family. You could determine what that is. That your sisters or brothers or whatever married.
Wait, let me look at my notes here. I think this is related to Bjorn.
So
Odds are good.
Yes, my cousin has had a child that looks suspiciously large.
is very tall.
Very tall. He comes out full-fledged Viking.
He came out with a little axe.
So I roll.
That checks that. That's now in play.
I rolled natural 20. What I get?
Natural 20. Ooh,
Yeah.
a scandalous
Me too.
rumor.
This is awesome.
Da, 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 da. Tim, roll me a d20.
I don't have a pencil, so let me scroll down to type this.
Oh, I got a 3.
A 3. There is a scandalous rumor that Ulo cheated during a tournament over the winter.
We had to use that phone book to get up to it. And
Yeah, he was like,
the whole thing.
you were fighting for the women's tee? What?
Byron had a 20.
For the Pee Wee League. He was doing the Pee Wee jousting.
Nice.
Byron, I had a 20 as well, and so
You had a what as well?
A 20
as well?
Yeah, and my rumor is an 8.
So
What year?
So you rolled
Somebody
a 20,
else
but I'm gonna let Steve
Okay.
roll your actual thing.
Do it.
So just for Tyler to put it says in the book that then after that you roll to see who's most affected, and it was your mother who's.
Your mother
Most.
cheated in a tournament.
No, his mother's most affected by the.
Mother is most affected.
Wow, your mother's very disappointed.
She was betting on you.
He took a fall.
Yeah, we had an agreement.
He took a fall in the tournament. All right. So Steve, give me a d20 roll to see what Beardsley's scandalous rumor is.
We're so
17.
scandalous.
17.
A 17.
That
Oh,
lines up
a
perfectly.
murderer.
That lines up perfectly with what I was actually doing during the winter. So cool.
wow. Who was most affected, Steve? Give me a d20 roll.
The
10.
victim.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you have a
His
brother?
Well,
Not anymore.
no,
Do you have
not
a
even-
brother?
Not even remember.
Beardsley?
I did. It's a very sad.
He is
story.
most affected by.
It was his girlfriend. Aha.
That's
I riff
who it
on that?
was.
Yes.
Oh my God! Holy shit!
So
yeah.
yes,
she
I
went
was-
missing. Little
Yes.
does she know, she was crushed to death.
Well, and to take a step further, Byron, I was just in love with her, and she was madly in love with him, right? She's madly in love with him, and I was trying to sway her heart, and I knew it wouldn't happen. So she was supposed to meet in the woods where they would frolic, where I would spy on them, and I made sure that he was distracted by household duties, and I showed up instead, wearing his
So
cloak.
this isn't a rumor.
Wearing his cloak. She'll never be the same. Let's just suffice it to say. And her fall off the side of the cliff, well, she was already dead by then. Whew. And
Damn.
the bloody cloak is hidden under his fucking mattress.
It doesn't sound like a rumor.
I mean,
This doesn't sound like a rumor. This sounds like it could have happened.
It's all
I mean,
Rumor
that's
has it, Beardsley
the
confessed.
best rumors are that
Yeah.
way.
A little bit of truth, not the whole truth.
All right, so it's step 7. It's step 7. You do training
Doesn't
and
Steve have to roll
practice.
for his event?
Yes.
He didn't get a scandalous event
Doesn't he have to roll D20?
His
at
family
all to
event.
See what he
for
gets?
a family event.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess.
We
roll.
rolled and got scandalous rumors.
What did you roll for your initial d20?
8.
Steve,
8.
an 8. A birth in the family.
It is his kid.
It is his kid.
Oh.
It really is your kid.
It really is.
So yeah, so the person most affected is Tim's sister.
She was affected several times that night, if I remember
Yeah,
correctly.
she was. She was affected.
Damn you.
Because every time she moans for the fairy, does that the old gods?
No,
All
no,
right.
but she likes to make me wear that little ring she weaves. It's really weird.
Nice. Okay, so you could choose any following of the 3 things. Okay, so do any one of the following 3 things. So you can gain 1d6 + 1 points in skills. You can gain 1 point in a skill. Why would you want to do that?
Maybe is it 1d6 plus 1 for random points in the skills?
Yeah, gain 1 point in a skill, or 1d6 plus 1 points in a... What? Oh, so you can gain 1 point in whatever skill you want. Or the other ones are any number of skills or combos. That's weird. That's kind of janky. Step 2 and step 9. Skills can go beyond 20. Okay, so the gain 1 point in a skill would be that it would allow you to go up to 20. The other ones can only go to 15. So like if you want to gain, so if you tried to put points in something that already had a 15, you wouldn't be able to. So you'd have to gain 1 point in a skill. Or you could improve a attribute, trait, or passion raised by 1 point. Yep. So you could do one of those following things.
I'll do the first one.
Okay.
So I roll a d6.
Yep, d6.
5.
So 6 points of skills. Nothing can go above 15.
Cool.
You can spread around as you see fit. Steve, any idea what you want to do?
This is going to show my ego here. I kind of want my dexterity up by 1.
There you go. Done. Boom.
Because
he practices fighting.
Because Garen's got hands.
Yeah. Plus he knows the baby was born now, so he thinks that he could end up more in a fist fight with Garen, and that didn't end so well the last time.
Yeah. At some point, I'll be like, that's my kid.
All right.
Beardsley was watching. It's weird.
Garen, have you or Tim, have you?
Yeah, I just took the first one.
Took the first one? Okay, cool. What skills did you put some points in?
I just moved Orate up to 10. I had a 4 in there.
Nice.
So I split mine between awareness and hunting. So my awareness is 14, and so is my hunting now.
Nice. What about Beardsley? What is?
So I was going to ask you. I was going to do this offline with you on a stream so that we could capture in a more coherent, like a consistent way.
Sure.
And get us a quick stream in for it as well.
That sounds fun.
Yeah.
He wants to be authenticative.
No, I'll share. I mean, they could watch the stream.
We got this stream. But, okay, yeah. So, yeah, that's cool. Glory beginning characters. That's it. So that is, in effect, the winter phase. The first winter phase. So I will go back through that and make sure that, I didn't jack anything up or whatever. Seems like we rolled through it pretty fast. Yes, sir.
So you did the compute glory. There's a step 9 where if you go over 1,000, you get a bonus point that needs to be assigned immediately, and it can go to a passion skill or combat skill.
Okay. So that won't apply to the very first 1,000.
Okay.
Because that's from being a knight. Okay. So that's kind of like the 1,000 you get right off the bat, but that will
fair enough.
That will go going forward for sure. So awesome! Congrats, guys. So what do you guys think of the first little scenario?
It was fun. It was awesome. Very exciting.
Nice.
Yeah. I'll make a plug for the Last Kingdom Netflix series if you want to sort of immerse yourself in this time period. It's first of all, it's a great series, and secondly, it gives you some flavor for what we're acting in right now. So
yeah,
check it out if you're of interest.
Links in the description below with Tim's affiliate ID for Prime Video. It's on
Netflix. It's on Netflix.
Netflix video.
So I am actually going to watch The Northman tonight. So about to check that out, see how that is. I heard that was really good. Mr. James Payne will be getting together with me and doing character generation between now and the 31st, which would be our next game session.
Can we call that out? So for those who didn't know, unfortunately Brent because of schedule challenges and stuff, has had to bow out. And I just have to say, I really enjoy playing with Brent and Night's Black Agents. I was really excited to play with him in another game, but we're glad we were able to work this out with James coming in, and sort of to take that square. But yeah, Brent, man, thanks for joining when you could. I like Sir Calyard. Also, I think he left because it was he had a tail. I think that was
he did find out he had a tail. So it just so happened. So it rarely ever happens in a game. But we actually were at a perfect place that it was very easy to we didn't kill him off though. He's not dead.
Oh no, we can bring him back. So
he can actually come back. So who knows? We may end
up
with.
It would appear that at some point at least one of us is headed back to that.
Right. If you can get back there. You know what I mean? So
I'm wearing a guide stone.
You will have to determine something that you can trade. So perhaps by completing the quest that the fairy should send you on.
I gotta start training up for this before Garrett trades my kid. So.
Right.
Oh shit! Nice.
So to give you a little primer for what you could be getting yourselves into on the next thing, a knight has come to you and has come to Sir Roderick. You guys go back to the city and so forth, to your home cities, and a knight has come. Sir Roderick has called you all together, along with a new knight that you have yet to meet, which will be James's character, to go and investigate a situation. There are what seems to be some disappearances of some livestock in one of the nobles' farmsteads. And so that will be what you guys get yourself into.
So to give you a primer as to my approach would be to find the fattest person in the village and kill him, because he's likely eating up all the sheep. And then we go home and call it a day.
Bjorn, good thing you upped your dex score.
Yeah,
I know.
No, I'm not that Beardsley. I was just trying to figure out why you guys don't want me to have any sheep.
It's the English. It's the English chupacabra. It's coming.
Yeah, it's coming.
Sheepacabra.
I think Ulo's seducing them all. That's what happened.
Calyard is seducing them all.
Yeah, he is about the right height, isn't he, Bjorn?
Damn. All right. So with that,
let's do it.
With that, we can end the stream for tonight.
Let's just.